Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today we're going to be talking about the our off-season recap. I think this is 22 if I remember correctly, or 23, I don't know, I cannot remember. But anyway, so before I obviously start off, like, comment, subscribe. It actually helps me a lot. So now let's get started. So previously we ended up with Arns, who joined the LA Gladiators after leaving the San Francisco Shock. The next one after that was Checkmate coming back to the Florida Mayhem. Um, so I guess the Chadmate is back. He's probably gonna be running tank, gonna be charging in every single fight as Reiner, and that's the only main tank that he's probably gonna be playing for the whole time. But all in all seriously, I'll be honest, he did not bad. I mean, I feel like he did pretty average, um, especially like when he was subbed in as a DPS player and not a tank player. But we'll see what he can do on the Mayhem. But for obviously for next season, I don't know if he's actually going to be just doing main tank, but I don't think he will be. So hopefully Checkmate can stay on DPS and they can actually get a reliable tank player. Next one, we got Hotbar. He has joined the Toronto Defiant as the tank player. This is actually a great pickup, I just want to say. It's a fantastic pickup, and Toronto is building a fantastic roster as well. But we need to also remember that we shouldn't really be really high on the Defiant, because Season 2, their roster was not bad on paper. They kind of failed. Season 3, they were just trying to go marketable, which kind of failed as well. Last season, Season 4, they were average. I mean, definitely like their best season, but they did fairly average. This one, it definitely looks like that they are building a very, very good roster, and I'm very excited about it. But we also need to obviously keep it in our minds that the Defiant have kind of been a bit of a disappointment, mainly in Season 2 and Season 4. Also, we thought they were possibly maybe going to be, I mean, they were mid, a mid-tier team, especially Season 4, but I don't know, we just have to wait and see that. But Defiant look very, very, very good, but obviously we need to keep in mind that they have been a bit of a disappointment sometimes in the season. Next one, we got McGravy. He has rejoined the Florida Mayhem, but this time as an assistant coach. Now, there's been a little bit of a controversy over this one. If you don't know, McGravy, I think coached like one team and that was it, and then now he's in the Overwatch League really for free. It'd be interesting to see how he goes under Goomba, who's obviously going to be the head coach of the Mayhem. I think McGravy, I can't remember what team McGravy was the only one coaching for. He coached for Dark Mode NA, and that was it. And then after he left Dark Mode NA, he has, I think, mainly been streaming. So it's a bit of a weird choice for the Mayhem to get McGravy. Uh, but hopefully he does really well. Hopefully he obviously helps the team rebuild and everything. And obviously he can obviously keep Goomba in check. So pretty excited about that. But a bit of a controversial coach pickup, I'll be honest, from Florida Mayhem. Next one, we got Vigilant. He has joined the Washington Justice as the main support player, formerly from Talent Esports. This is a very interesting pickup, and I quite enjoyed it as well, because obviously they need a lot of work on their support, and Vigilant is a great player, in my opinion. I think he's also definitely an upgrade as well, from Bebe. I think he does flex support, if I remember correctly. Is it flex support or is it main support? I think it's flex. Yeah, so flex support, definitely an upgrade to Bebe, and he's actually currently underage, so he can't play until he's obviously over 18 or is 18, which will be, I think, sometime during the season. I need to go back here on July 4th, 2004. So it depends on when the season starts. That might be a really, really, really bad time, because I think most of the season of the Overwatch League will be past that. But luckily, they did sign another flex support player who's actually now returning to the Overwatch League after I think a year hiatus. Well, he went to Contenders, but basically a hiatus from the Overwatch League, and now he's back. So Vigilant joining Justice. This is a good support start. Next one, we have Stryker coming back to his old team of the Boston Uprising. Now, if you haven't been, well, obviously, if you came in just in the league or like became a fan of the league around let's say season 3, season 4, well, you definitely not know that Stryker was actually formerly from the Boston Uprising in season 1, the first season of the Overwatch League. He was renowned as one of the best Tracer players in season 1, along with Sabiobi, and now he's back with his old team, which I'm very, very excited about. They also re-signed Valentine as well, so that's going to be a very, very nasty DPS duo, and I think a lot of the west, like a lot of the teams from the NA region, like from like the West Conference, I'm going to say, they're going to be a little bit worried about the Boston Uprising because the Uprising look pretty scary right now with their roster. It looks very, very, very good. So Stryker coming back to the Boston Uprising, a very, very big upgrade from the previous DPS lineup. I can't remember who it was. It was Valentine and Color Hex, I think it was. So I'm very, very excited to see. Oh yeah, and I'm 37. Definitely basically a very, very big upgrade in my opinion. So I'm really excited to see how he goes on the new Boston Uprising for Season 5. Next one, we got Reiner. He has joined the LA Gladiators as the main tank. Now, I have seen a lot of high hopes for this guy, and to be honest, by looking at his results, he was formerly from the American Tornado, and then he was obviously formerly from Redbird Esports. Both them winning, but basically did a lot of winning in NA contenders, and now he's finally been picked up to the Overwatch League. I'm very excited how he goes in the Overwatch League standards. Obviously, he'll be sharing time with Space, who will be staying with the team as well. I'm just really excited how Reiner goes. I think he will definitely be a main tank, probably a tank protege for the LA Gladiators, but obviously we just have to wait and see for that. So I'm really, really excited to see, and also to watch how Reiner goes in Overwatch 2 with the Gladiators. And obviously with that roster as well for the Gladiators, they're also going to be a very, very scary Western team. So Reiner joining Glads, a fantastic pickup. Next one, we got Mn3 joining the Philadelphia Fusion. I think there's also another one that's also coming up soon, or maybe it's next, I don't really know. Mn3 joining Philly, it definitely looks like that they kind of want to, they kind of want to have like the rookies play a lot more than Carpe, because the Carpe will be staying with the team, including Alarm, and Carpe has been with the team since season 1 in 2018. For a very, very long time, he's been staying with the Fusion, so he probably wants, obviously I think the Fusion wants Carpe to mentor these young DPS players to become one of the best DPS players in the league. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited how Mn3 goes. I think he's a hit scan player as well. Yeah, so he's a hit scan player. So basically, Mn3, and he's also underage, but he's gonna be turning 18 on November 26th, 2003. So just November 26th. Really excited how Carpe does with Mn3. He's probably just gonna be the mentor to him. Really excited how he goes. Next one, we got some LA Gladiators changes for the coaching lineup. Smash and Unter have both joined the Glads. So we kind of already know about Unter, formerly from the Atlanta Reign, and was a big part of Atlanta's success from last season. Smash, he was formerly, I think, the head coach of O2 Blast, obviously the team that won Contenders Korea. They also promoted Face to be head coach after DP left, and there was a whole lot of controversy going around about, like, did DP leave himself, or did the Glads just kick them out? I don't really understand it, to be honest. I did read Branda's Foot Longer. It was a bit of a weird thing, but whatever. But this is a good coaching lineup as well. Obviously, 2 Aussies. Let's go Australia. Let's go Aussies. And then Smash also joined them as well. And that's going to be a great coaching lineup. And hopefully they can obviously coach the Glads to basically be Overwatch League champions, because I feel like with the coach that they like the coaches that they have and the players that they have, definitely a contender for being crowned Overwatch League champions for next season. Next one, we got another Philadelphia Fusion change, and that is Zest has also been promoted to the Philadelphia Fusion. He's obviously the projectile player, I think, if I remember correctly, or maybe he's also a hit scan. Okay, that is a Singaporean Zest. I'm talking about the the Korean Zest. Oh my god. So here we go. So he's a projectile player, formerly from T1, or he's obviously being promoted to Philadelphia Fusion. Also really excited. I think it's mainly going to be Mn3 and Zest who's going to be starting lineup. I think Carpe is probably going to be maybe mentoring them, or maybe he just plays in for a bit. But this definitely looks like most likely the end of Carpe in Philadelphia Fusion. He may join a different team. I don't know. I haven't gotten any confirmation about it from basically from articles and leaks that I've seen on Twitter, basically on the internet. I don't really know about that, but I'm just making my own speculations that this may be the end of Carpe in Philadelphia Fusion. But I'm really excited to see how this duo DPS goes on Philly. I don't know about any other players who will be picked up by the Fusion, but hopefully they are good ones. Next one, Marvel has joined the Boston Uprising. This one came out of left field. I would have thought Marvel would have gone to maybe another APAC team. Maybe he would have maybe joined the, I don't know, maybe the Guangzhou Charge, or I don't know, some maybe even the Shock maybe. But him joining the Boston Uprising really surprises me, and they definitely basically the Uprising wants to win. Every team obviously wants to win, but Uprising is going that extra mile just to get Marvel. I think he's a very average main tank player. Obviously, he'll be sharing time with Punk on the tank. Two pretty consistent tank players. I'm really excited to see how they go on the Uprising. Very, very excited about it, and hopefully Marvel does basically a phenomenal job on the Boston Uprising, and yeah, so I'm pretty excited about this new Uprising team. I don't know if this is gonna be their full-on roster, but I'm pretty excited about it. Next one, we got Chorong, or Korong, I think it is. He has joined the Toronto Defiant as their main support, obviously formerly from Talent Esports. This one, pretty excited about this as well. Obviously, maybe a Rookie of the Year contender. I think it's mainly going to be Talent Esports players and O2 Blast players are probably going to be Rookie of the Year contenders. But Korong obviously joined into Defiant, pretty big upgrade as well for the support side of things for the Defiant. I feel like the supports from last season were a bit underwhelming and didn't really play as I thought they would. But now with Korong and Twilight being the support duo for that team, really, really excited to see how well they go. I'm very, very excited about the Defiant for next season. But obviously we need to just make it a bit more realistic and hopeful, and just basically hopefully that the Defiant doesn't shit the bed for next season. Next one, we got Krillin. He'll be coming back to the Overwatch League to join the Washington Justice. Obviously formerly from Team 1, and obviously he's got a bit more experience and top teams. He's not just a weird signing like the London Spitfire did with him. I think for season 2. Really excited about this one. And I think also the mullet, the very interesting mullet from Krillin will be probably also coming back as well. So at least the mullet will be coming back, but just I feel like this is just mainly just a signing just for Vigilant, because he's underage and he won't be playing for a couple, even I think most of the season as well. It definitely looks like that they want to just sign Vigilant for the long term, and they could be signing Krillin just for the short term, and basically filling in for him, and then he'll probably be benched. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but that's what it looks like. That's most likely what's going to happen with Krillin and the Washington Justice. Obviously, we don't know who's going to be in the main support role. Don't know about it, so we just have to wait and see. Next one, we got Yaki, he has left the Florida Mayhem. So this, obviously with the rumors about Yaki joining the NYXL, is becoming more and more likely to happen. Obviously we just need to wait for him to join the NYXL. If it is obviously true, then that's going to be a very, very nasty DPS duo of Flora and Yaki. Obviously there's been a lot more NYXL leaks going around. So yeah, but Yaki obviously leaving the Mayhem, his first ever team that he joined, I think back in 2020. So he's been with the team for 2 years, so still pretty good. Um, so yeah, it is a bit sad, but obviously Mayhem will be going for a full, kind of say full, well, national, a mixed roster. So basically some Korean players and some Western players as well. So pretty excited to see the rebuild of the Mayhem, and if Yaki does join the NYXL, that's going to be a great pickup as well for them. Next up, Muse has joined the Toronto Defiant. I could definitely see why, I'll be honest. Um, Muse is kind of like, we all thought Muse was obviously going to just, destroy everyone on the main tank role for the LA Gladiators. Didn't really. He kind of struggled at some points, but obviously did a very decent job still with the Glads. Um, but now with the Defiant, I don't know if he's even going to get any play time, probably. But how versatile Hopper is, I don't know if he's going to get any play time on the Defiant. But we just have to wait and see, though. But still a pretty decent pickup. I'm not too high on Muse, but it's still a pretty decent pickup. It's not bad in my opinion. It's pretty good. Next up, we got some San Francisco Shock signings. Proper, that is not supposed to be married, it's supposed to be Kilo, and Finn. They have all joined the SF Shock. Apparently, as I've been hearing about Proper, he's basically Pelican, but better. I haven't heard a lot about Kilo and Finn, but I've been told they're actually great players. And I still can't wrap my head around why they re-signed Super. Why do they re-sign him? Why? I don't understand. Why did they just re-sign him? Why don't they just let him go, just try and just find a different team? Like, I would have thought he would have done a fantastic job on the Gladiators. Maybe just be another tank player. Maybe he just, I don't know, goes to the Houston Outlaws or something. I don't bloody know. But it definitely looks like, as I did call it as well, that the SF Shock are probably going to be signing some of the O2 Blast players. They will definitely be going for Korean, unless we hear something about them actually signing a Western player, then they probably won't be going full. But other than that, I think they're definitely going to go full Korean, in my opinion. So, pretty excited to see how well these three players go. Obviously, I'm expecting quite a lot from Proper. As obviously what we saw from Pelican, he obviously destroyed everyone. Is it going to be the same for Proper? We just have to wait to see, though. But obviously, I'm also really excited to see how Killer and Finn goes as well. So, yeah, a very exciting time if you're an SF Shock fan. Next up, we got a lot of Atlantean changes. This is basically their whole roster. So they did resign Kai, Gator, and Hawk. However, they did sign 4 other players. We knew about Nero, Ultraviolet, and OG. Already know about those. However, we did not know about Venom. So I guess I gave you a little backstory about Venom. Obviously, you may actually know him more as Sigma. Obviously, he retired from Overwatch. I think last year or somehow like earlier this season. Sorry, this year. Sorry. He played for Odyssey, which is I think a North American team, and then he was actually part of O2 Blast before joining the NA scene. So this looks like a pretty decent roster, obviously. With Venom obviously coming in as well, and OG, Ultraviolet, and Nero. Expect this team to probably be a contender for maybe just for Overwatch League as a whole. Really excited to see how well they go. As an Atlanta Reign fan myself, I'm very excited to see how well these players go. And for the final change, it is Glister. He has joined the Paris Eternal. Now, I really thought the Eternal was just going to go full European once again. I mean, it worked for them last season. They did very, very good. But it looks like they're going to be going for another 2020 like season 3 approach where they had some European players and some Korean players. If it's true, then they may do a really, really good job. Obviously, we know that Glister, he's an absolute madman. He's a freak. He did a pretty decent job on the Shark. I feel like he kind of downgraded from how he played on the London Spitfire. But hopefully he can bounce back with the Paris Channel. And he's also basically the first ever player to join both European teams, London Spitfire and the Paris Eternal. So he's basically gone back to Europe, and he's going to be played for another European team of the Paris Eternal. And obviously with Naga and Glister as a DPS duo, I'm very excited about that one. So that's really about all the roster changes. Yep. So that's really all. Let's now move on to the rumors. Now I don't know where we actually started, where we ended. I think it was Kellen. I think we ended off with. So we ended up with Kellen joining the NYXL. We already know that Korong has been signed to the Toronto Defiant. Valiant to say in APAC, I'm not that surprised, to be honest. I mean, hopefully they actually try this season and not just have like some pretty crappy Chinese players. I mean, no disrespect to Milanran, who actually did a very, very good job. Shoshank, he was average, including Crystal. The DPS players were mediocre. Silver 3, meh, and what is it? Is it like Nevermind? I think that's how you say Nevermind, or was it NBM? I can't remember. Is it Nevermind, or was it just NBM? But you know what I mean. The tank player who basically retired and then came back. He was just basically just a bloody villain, I guess. So, oh, Nevermore. There we go, Nevermore. He was basically just a villain. He didn't even play at all. Like, he legit retired in 2018. He doesn't even know who, like, he doesn't even know who the hell Echo is. He doesn't know who Ash is, for Christ's sake. What the? Like, he legit retired in 2018, and then he came back this season just to basically be a fill-in for the LA Valiant, just so they can play. Like, Jesus Christ. But anyways, they're probably going to be kicking everyone out, and they're going to be signing a very good Korean roster. Unless they go Chinese again. Then, oh god. Mayhem to sign someone. He is the, I think the main tank, technically, for Team CC. Pretty excited about him coming to the league. And some NYXL change as well. So they're going to be signing Myungbong and Gangnam Jun for the support duo. And the support duo looks very, very good. I mean, we know how great these two players are. Myungbong did a fantastic job on the uprising. Gangnam Jin was a bit lackluster, a bit on the Mayhem, in my opinion. But he still did a very decent job, a very respectable job also on the Mayhem. And London Spitfire to sign 2 British players. Well, there's actually one more as well, which I'll talk to a bit. But London signing 2 players, I mean, I'm going to say this, it's probably going to be Chips and Boombox. That's just in my opinion. And then for the final one, I'll make this also really quickly. Mirror, he's going to be expected to be signing with the Florida Mayhem. Obviously, a very decent player, very average, and he'll be signing with, again, a very average Florida Mayhem, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's really it for me now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.